Right. I'm really slow. It should be working now.
Yep, looks like recording to me. So,
Okay.
this is being recorded. If you don't want your beautiful face to be seen, you can put it, turn off your camera. I am Amber Bragg. I am the school counselor at Proctor Elementary School. And today we are going to talk about the Second Step program. Are any of you familiar with this program? All right, Sean is. And Sean, how have you used it in the past?
So when I was in Ludlow Mount Holly teaching preschool, we used the lessons from it for the pre-K children.
Okay.
So they had posters, they had puppets, and the series like lessons that you could use.
Yeah, perfect. And Mary, you have also used it?
No, I think I'm in the wrong spot. This is only for like grade school.
Nope. It's Second Step is K through 12.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't used it, but I
Okay.
just thought I was in the wrong spot. Okay, thanks.
That's okay. So for those that have not used it before, Second Step is it's a social emotional curriculum that is geared towards all ages. So like I said, it can be pre-K through 12th grade. Each level is suited for that developmental stage. It talks about all aspects of empathy. It is an empathy-based program, so that is its biggest message. But there's problem solving. There is, being self-aware. There's many different aspects in the lessons that they learn throughout the year, and it builds on each lesson from the last. So, you can do a wrap up at the end, and that wrap up kind of leads into your review for the next lesson. Now, one thing I wanted to talk to everybody about is, as the school year progresses, we are wanting to have a social emotional lesson in each classroom by the teachers. That is our end game goal. Not all school counselors are able to get into a classroom for 30 minutes each week. And so, we're really wanting to do a push on this being incorporated by the classroom teacher. A lot of times the classroom teacher hears that and understandably panics a little bit. How am I going to fit one more thing into my day? And how do I not take away from all of the other things that I need to do? And that is completely understandable. We all have our schedules and are busy, and trying to think of how to bring one more thing in can be daunting. So I have a few ideas that I have worked with the teachers in my building with. And so I thought I would share that with all of you so that when the time comes that your building says that classroom teachers are going to be doing this, if they haven't already, you have some ideas already set. One of the easiest ways to incorporate Second Step into your classroom is morning meeting. So we, all try to start off the day with a 5 to 10 minute morning meeting with our students. This is a perfect time to do your Second Step lesson. They're usually geared towards 30 minutes once a week, but can very easily be broken up into 5-6 minute lessons. So a lot of pre-K to third grade, you have cards that depict an image, and your lesson is based on this image. Second Step is also digital. So these can be displayed on your smartboard through your school's website, through the Second Step website. And I'll share that with you in just a little bit. But now, how to break these up. So you've got your card. On the back of it, it is very easily laid out on exactly what to do for the lesson. So there is really no thinking on your part. It's really just all spelled out for you. So that is super convenient. The different sections that are on here is the first, you're starting with the warm-up. So this could be your Monday. This could be what you start on Monday. So you're going to just go through the warm-up, and usually it's a game. So this is a good way to get the students moving in morning meeting and to introduce the topic of the week. So then it goes into, there's always a song. So that's really fun. You can play the song at the end of your morning meeting on Monday. I suggest play the song at the end of your morning meeting each day, because they're really great songs that really pertain to the lesson and the unit that you're on. There's usually 3 different units in the program for each grade level. So then it goes into the story and discussion. So the story and discussion can take place on your Tuesday and even go into Wednesday if that discussion turns into, a much bigger talk with your students. This is a great time for them to be recognizing, like this lesson right here is following in directions, and this is the kindergarten level. So really showing them the picture, going through what the story is, and there's different talking points through each of these. So, going through and talking about each one of these talking points and letting the students share and even share their experience of how this pertains to them. So this could take, 6 minutes on Tuesday and then lead into your 6 minutes of your morning meeting on Wednesday. Then there's skill practice. So this could be your Thursday morning meeting where they're going to practice the skills that they have learned in the past couple days. This is great to get the kids up and moving and interacting with each other and, kind of just playing off of each other and learning by example. And then on Friday, you've got your wrap up. So the last section is always the wrap up. And this is a great time to do a little assessment on, just a verbal assessment on what they have retained from the week's lesson. And it's all, you can always add in a little skit, like, do you want to act out what you've learned today? Do we want to just talk about it? Does anybody want to share what they took away from this? What was most important to them? So I really like that style because it's not taking away anything from your lessons. It's not taking away from your scheduled class day. Everybody is already doing morning meeting, and it's just a great opportunity to spread that lesson out for all 5 days instead of talking about it in one day. But there is always the option of setting aside 1 day a week where you do a 30-minute lesson. And if that's the path that you choose, then you would just follow the card and all of the different sections right in a row. For pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade, there are puppets that come along with the cards, and the students absolutely love them. There's a dog, a snail, and a rabbit, and they really help the students to interact with the lesson, to understand, if the puppy is acting a certain way, why is that? So there's a really great way to capture their attention and for them to see the actions and the skills that they should be learning. Now, the program is also online. I'm gonna share. I am not the best at this, so I'm going to attempt to share my screen with all of you. Since they've changed this. There we go. 2 seconds. Because obviously I have a million tabs open.
Are you getting it, Amber?
Yeah, I just gotta find my right tab. There we go. Okay, so I will not be able to see all of you in just a second, but just shout out to me if you need me to pause or if you have a question. Okay, so are you all seeing the My Dashboard Second Step Elementary Classroom Kits?
Yes.
Perfect. So I am in elementary, so I only have access to our K through 5th grade. 6th grade is technically the middle school level. So that is a different set of program. So this is what your dashboard is going to look like when you have access to the online version. And all you would need to do is click on, I'll do 4th grade. So click on your grade level. And let it load. And then it's going to bring you to your 4th grade resources. So you have PDFs that you can print out. You have there's different worksheets for the students. There's a family letter to let them know what the lessons are going to be about, what that, what the curriculum all is about. You've got links for the parents, for resources for them having to do with the topics. You have your songs. There is a variety of songs that go with each unit. And then there's a video in the 4th grade up levels. There is a video that goes along with each lesson. There's mini posters that you can put up for your classroom. There's summative assessments. And you've got book lists for the kids and book lists for the adults. Now, it's great to look at this, especially the book list, because you can be doing, if your students need to do some guided reading or self-directed reading, or even you're reading to the class, you can choose books from this list that are going to help support the unit or the lesson that you are working on, which is a great way to prolong that lesson. I think we all learn by doing things or hearing things more than once. And so the more that you can get other topics involved in, or other subjects involved in this topic, is by doing, some worksheets, by reading the books from these lists. And that is going to help your students understand the message a lot better. Then you're going to go down, and each lesson has its own title. And then you have the streaming lesson media. So if I were to click on that, it's going to take us to our video. So the introduction screen is going to be just a screen that shows kind of a thumbnail of what the video is going to be. Then your story and discussion. So you've got You can see that this video is only 37 seconds long. So it's just a short video to kind of have the students visually see what the concept is of the lesson. Then you can go into your activity, which these are the fun songs that go with it. I'll tell you that when you do this program, your students will have these songs stuck in their head forever, and that's great because there's a great message to them. I'll show a little bit of this. Let me know if you can't hear the volume, because sometimes when I play stuff, I have a super old computer and you can't hear it. So just let me know if you cannot.
I bet you've had strong feelings coming from within. Hard to see another's point of view when you're in your own skin. Changing your perspective, thinking through your stuff. Empathy's not easy when the going gets rough. You know that it may be hard to think it through. Other people feeling different because they're not you. You gotta walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Take a look and see what they're seeing. Walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Try to understand what it would feel like to be them. You gotta walk, walk, walk. Walk in their shoes. Empathy is what we're saying. Recognize those feelings. You felt them too. That's empathy. You see, she's getting angry. You felt that feeling too. Embarrassed, jealous, scared, strong emotions through and through. Empathy's the pathway to recognize and walk.
Okay, you get an idea of that. So the song is, you're gonna play that song for, that'll be for a few lessons. Then there's a new song that comes in. But the great thing is that it's fun, it's visually, exciting to watch, and it's something that they can remember. Your students will walk down the hall and you'll hear them walk, walk, walk. It just gets into your brain and stays there, which is great because that's what you want. You want them to understand the concept of what empathy is, and and how it looks and how it sounds. So it's broken up online pretty similar to the cards. And how you would, for the 4th grade level, incorporate this into your morning meetings is you could always do the introduction and introduce what the lesson is going to be. Maybe have them do some predictions on what they think will happen. And you could write those predictions down. And just to see, like, what do they perceive this image to be and what might happen. Then the next day you could go into the story and discussion. This one is only 37 seconds, so you can really go into, in that 6 minutes you're going to spend in that day, and discuss what's happening. And then you can, on your 3rd day, talk about how did your predictions differ or have similarities to what happened. And then you've got your activity and your music. So either way, if you have the card version or if you have the online version. It is very easily broken up into those 6-minute, segments for your morning meetings. Does anybody have any questions? I kind of just threw a lot at you. Abby.
Okay. So I've done this program before, but I was in an inner city school in New York, and a lot of those situations tailored very well. A lot of us live in rural Vermont. Do you find that the situations that are brought to kids like attention, do they come in contact with that kind of situation or not so much?
Yeah, so they have, Second Step has kind of revamped their lessons to be more up to date, which is awesome. They just went through a massive overhaul of their lessons and took out aspects that didn't quite pertain to our students now.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really great. I got an email today. There was some images that didn't quite meet the standards of today's practice. So they are sending out brand new images to schools. So there will be some situations, I think, that because, I'm at Proctor, this is a very small community that students don't necessarily face, but understanding those situations and how to respond and react in those situations will still be beneficial for them to learn so that someday when they're not in their small town, they know what to do or what to say or how to react. That was a really good question. Thank you. Does anybody else currently use any social emotional curriculum in their classroom? John?
Sibrin and I have been using Changing Perspectives.
Yes.
For the past 2 or 3 years.
Perfect. Yeah, our school as well uses Changing Perspectives, and I'm glad you brought that up because Second Step is expensive. Our hope is that, over the next year or so, we can secure a program for all, but right now there's, different schools are using different resources. Changing Perspectives is a super affordable option. And they also have very outlined curriculum that you just grab, read, and present. And they also have the book lists and home connections. So it doesn't matter as long as it's a research-based curriculum. It doesn't matter if it's Changing the Perspectives or Second Step. I think the key is getting that social emotional learning into the classrooms every day, right? Second Step is super teacher friendly, so that's why I like it. It is very adaptable to, however you want to present it in the classroom. And it has great opportunity for sharing, for doing small group work, for doing one-on-one or independent work. It has a lot of different ways that you can tailor it to what your students and classroom needs are. I don't know how many schools right now have the program. I think out of all of us, there might only be 3. But I'm not, Abby, do you know? Have you heard? No. So it's something that we're hoping, whether it is Second Step or something else, that will be able to be accessed by more schools as the year or so progresses. Because we are very much in a push for some social emotional recovery right now. This past year and a half or so has taken its toll on all of us. And I think teachers as well as students can't take more on, but also at the same time need those strategies and doing it in a way that can alleviate and not add to the stress of the classroom. So is there any other questions or concerns?
I don't have any questions, Amber, but I did want to share that I think it is a difficult program to share materials for. So like when I was in a different school, we had 2 classrooms, and it's like only having one set of posters or cards or only having one set of puppets was difficult to use Second Step appropriately and to its fullest intent. So
yeah, no, that is a really good point. So from this year forward, there is actually no physical materials for the program. It is all virtual. So schools who have the program already will have these cards, but when purchased in the future, there are no cards, there are no puppets. It is all online resources. So that will make it a lot easier to share, because I agree, when there's more, if you only have one set and there's more than one class, it's very hard to share those. One way that I have thought about for this year, because we have 4 classes, is there's 3 different sections. So each class will do one section at a time and then just rotate through them. And not really be able to use in those grades don't use the puppets, so that is a little bit easier. But yeah, I see where it's definitely hard to do that, but the way that they have set it up now is that you don't have to have any of those physical resources. It'll all be online. So by the time we do figure out a program for everybody, that should not be a problem. But yeah, that's definitely something to think about when sharing for this year. All right. Well, I hope that I, have been able to give you a smidgen of information that you can use in your classrooms, whether it is with Second Step or it is with a different social emotional program. I encourage all of you to do something, because it is super important for our students. But I'm not going to keep you longer than I need to, so I will let you all leave a little bit early until your next session.
Thank you, Amber.
Yes, you're welcome.